Good evening. Welcome to Current Affairs. I would like to continue my discussion with respect to Uttarakhand crisis. So many twists and turns that are taking place. Of course, we are expecting certain things. Yesterday, the High Court single judge bench it ordered for the floor test on March 31st, and that is supposed to be held tomorrow. And immediately after that, the central government has challenged the order of single judge before the two judge bench. So today it has been challenged, it came for hearing, and the two judge bench and they have issued a stay on the order that is given by single judge. So meaning tomorrow there is no floor test that is being taking place in Uttarakhand. But why all these things are happening? So now the point is that how come the Uttarakhand High Court single judge has given the order of conducting the floor test like this? The most interesting thing is here is that the Constitution has given the rights to the President of India for declaring the President's rule. So during the President's rule, either the Assembly is dissolved or Assembly may be kept under suspended animation. So if Assembly is kept under suspended animation, that Assembly may be revived at any point of time. So this is what generally happens in almost all the cases. In the similar manner, even Uttarakhand Assembly also kept under suspended animation. But look at the order that is given by single judge. He called for a floor test, and he has given chance to the chief minister to prove his majority, Harish Rawat, to prove his majority. But unfortunately, what happened? So this has become a constitutional question now. When Assembly has already been kept under suspended animation, is it possible for the judiciary to revive this at least for one day? So these are the questions that are not answered in the Constitution. So now the constitutional experts are citing the case that is related to Jagadambika Pal versus Union of India. So I am talking to you story with respect to the year 1998. 1998, this incident took place in Uttar Pradesh. So during the time, Mr. Kalyan Singh was the chief minister, and Kalyan Singh has been replaced by Jagadambika Pal. It happened on February 21st, 1998. And he was removed by, Mr. Kalyan Singh was removed by then Governor of Uttar Pradesh, Ramesh Bhandari. So during that time, the court has interfered and court has reinstated the government of Kalyan Singh. So that is a different case, in fact. So meaning, so during that particular time, chief minister has been replaced by other person by the governor. So during that time, the decision of the governor has been struck down and the judiciary has interfered and it restored the Kalyan Singh's government. But when it comes to today's Uttarakhand case, the case is totally different. In Uttar Pradesh of 1998 case, the assembly was not suspended. The assembly was not suspended, but now, so the assembly has been kept under suspended animation. But even then, some constitutional experts are linking so these two issues. So maybe this particular case has been taken as a precedent by the single judge of Uttarakhand, and he has given the judgment for revival of the assembly at least for one day so that they can go for the floor test. But so today's decision of the High Court, the division bench of High Court today, it has issued the stay order on the order that is issued by single judge, meaning tomorrow there is no floor test that is going to be held in Uttarakhand. So that will continue. So the president's rule will continue, and the constitutional experts The people who are very much aware of the judiciary, they are telling that once the president's rule has been imposed, there is no possibility of reviving the assembly. There is no possibility. So these are the so many questions that are to be answered, and all the fingers are being pointed only towards the so-called the central government. So because of this hurried nature of the central government, all these things have happened. Is it okay? Now, so what are the key issues? What are the important issues as far as the so-called this particular president's rule is concerned and the decisions that are being taken by the government? First thing is that, can the court interfere with the presidential order and partially revise the assembly that is under suspended animation? So again, the higher judiciary has to give the answer for this. Can the court will interfere into the presidential order and revive the assembly at least partially? That is number one. Number two is that, already I told you yesterday, the decision has been taken to prorogue the parliament. On one side, I am talking about the Uttarakhand assembly. On the other side, I am talking about the parliament. What is the link between these two? Whenever any assembly is kept under suspended animation, so whenever in any state the president's rule is imposed, during the time, all the decisions are taken by the parliament and the central government. And tomorrow is considered to be the last day. Tomorrow is considered to be the last day. There is a deadline as far as the budget of Uttarakhand is concerned. So you need to take a decision on this. So if you want to take a decision on this, how exactly it is going to happen? Constitution makes it very, very clear under Article 123 that whenever the parliament is in the session, the president cannot issue any ordinance with respect to the state. So today, see here at the state level, the ordinances are issued by the governor. But today, so the president's rule has been imposed, hence all the powers will be there with the so-called the president of India. That's the reason why at this stage there is no possibility of the governor issuing any ordinance. Ordinance has to be issued by the so-called the president. In order to issue the ordinance, it is the responsibility. It is the responsibility of the central government to recommend to the president so that it will be prorogued. So the house has to be prorogued. I am talking about the parliament. And immediately after that, so by today, the decision will be taken with respect to the money bill, rather the budget of this Uttarakhand. Again, another notification will be issued by Rashtrapati Bhavan, where exactly the parliament will be summoned again. So under very, very rare circumstances, it will happen. See here, so we have a constitution, which is considered to be the very, very sacred book, right? We need to give the respect. That is the reason why. So what are all the procedures which are mentioned in the constitution that must be followed very carefully, so that nothing in the constitution has to be will be violated. That is how we respect the so-called the constitution. Is that okay? So that is the reason. Hope you understood now why the government has decided to prorogue the parliament. Prorogue means ending the parliament session. Only if you end, then only the president will be permitted to declare an ordinance with respect to any state government. Is that okay? So next, tomorrow, maybe tomorrow the floor test is not being taken place. That is point number one. Point number two is that, so maybe after a period of time, imagine a situation. Imagine a situation. It will be very, very difficult task to see that. It will be very difficult task to see that if the particular party, if the floor test is permitted. Once the floor test is permitted, the court already ordered for even the disqualified MLAs can also vote during this particular time. Point number one. Imagine a situation, imagine that may happen, may not happen, because there is an interference today by the division bench of Uttarakhand High Court. If those 9 disqualified MLAs will be permitted to vote, whether they will be coming under the concept of issuance of the whip by the Congress party. Since they belong to the Congress party, obviously under anti-defection law, Congress party has the right to issue whip to those 9 MLAs. But what will happen? And if these 9 MLAs will vote against the Congress party, then obviously, so they will be disqualified. But whether those votes will be taken into consideration or before that they will be disqualified, whether this disqualification will be upheld or the disqualification will be revoked, so many things are there. Various things will be discussed by, decided by the so-called the honorable court. That is the reason why so many twists and turns are there. So this is the place where, this parliamentary sovereignty versus judicial supremacy will come into the picture. So we have to wait and watch what exactly is going to happen. But one request for all the people who are attending interview this time, you may get a question, you may be asked to explain with respect to the Jagadambika Pal versus Union of India case. Is that okay? So, of course, it happened in the year 1998, but because of the today's decision of Uttarakhand High Court, this question may be asked in the interview. So, please be thorough with that. And we'll be watching the so-called the developments that are being taking place in Uttarakhand. Clear? So, this particular concept, we are talking since day before yesterday, right? So for the last 3 days, we are talking about this. So many turns are being taking place. So now, obviously, so because you are at the learning stage, you may have some doubts. Why this is happening? Why the single judge bench has given like this? Why 2 judge bench has given like this? Why the parliament has been prorogued? Okay, so kindly follow these issues in a sequence so that it will become easy for you. So to follow this, and you will be in a position to answer any question which is related to this particular aspect. Is it okay? So that is one. So, and of course, last but not least, today uh, England versus New Zealand cricket match is going on, and it seems that New Zealand has finished batting first, but England is doing extremely well. Right before I start the class, I was just watching. So I think England has made 36 runs in first 3 overs. It was a fantastic start. So we have to wait and watch, but no worries for India. Whatever the team that is winning today and tomorrow, definitely India is going to win. And today's winner will be meeting India in the final match. So let's hope for the best. And so we'll uh, watch the cricket nicely tomorrow and we'll enjoy the game. And I thank you so much for being with me this evening. Let's follow the crisis, what is happening in Uttarakhand. And tomorrow I'll meet you with some other issue. Is that okay? So thank you so much. Take very good care of yourself. And tomorrow support India. Let India win. And India is going to win. Thank you so much.